Really quick, 2 things before we get started. First of all, make sure you're subscribed, because if we hit 750 subscribers by the end of July, then the daily tutorials will continue 2 weeks into August. That's 14 more free tutorials just for clicking that free button. And other than that, I have now launched my Discord server. The invite link will be at the very top of the description, as well as on screen. So yeah, make sure you join. Post your neon white times, chat to me, ask for help. All of it. It's fun. Great time. Okay, we're here. We made it to Clocktower. So the first things first that I want to show before anything starts is this level and also the other 2 boss levels, but it'll only be applicable in one of the other 2 in the series. Utilizes something called death abuse, where I'll put it on screen now, but green goes through a death animation at the end of the level, which takes like 3 seconds or something like that. But if you die during that sequence, the timer pauses, but the level still ends. So here's a comparison between the 2. You'll see I throw the bomb at the exact same time, and you'll see the one on the left is close to 3 seconds faster. And that's done basically, if you use your whole katana card, you get a fist card, and if you use your whole fist card, you die on the spot. So throughout the level, you'll be slashing and shooting green. In all your downtime, you'll be slashing to kind of run down to your fist card so that you can die during the end animation. So one more thing you'll notice before I actually get started with the tutorial properly is at the top, neon green actually has a number next to his name that indicates his health. So he has 100 HP in this fight. If you followed my mod tutorial, you will have most of these mods that I'm showing here. And yeah, at the top of the neon light settings, it says enable neon green HP. So that's how I'm able to see the HP. I recommend using this because it is allowed, and it's kind of just important throughout the whole level. So to put it simply, your goal is to have green on 24 HP when you make it to this section. And the reason being is that if you slash a purify bomb, then it'll do triple damage. So by default, it does 8 damage. And if you slash or punch it, it'll do 24 damage. So if he's on 24 HP here and you throw the bomb and slash it, it'll kill him. And from there you can stomp and then use your fist card to end the level. In this first phase right here, you can do up to 10 damage to him, although it's, I think, impossible to get 10 shots out during that time. And then during the next time his shield is down, once you break these crystals, you can do 5 damage to him. And then in this last one, it's also 5 damage there. So you can do technically a total of 20 damage during this beginning like 3 phases. So in order to get him to 24 HP by that point, you need to maintain consistent damage throughout the level. So during this first phase, you need to get him to ideally 94 or below. And depending on how many times, like what HP you get him to here. So here I got him to 93. So that means in the next 2 damage phases, I have 1 bullet room for error. Since in this first phase, he can technically take 10 damage, I believe. And then in the next 2 phases, he has his shield down, he can only take 5. So in this damage phase, I should be able to get him to 88. And then the one after that, I could get it to 83. So an example of that should look something like this. So I got him to 93 again, so I should be able to get him to 88 here before he puts his shield back up. And then here I should be able to get him to 83, like that. So that means by this point, you want to have him on 84 HP. So that means right now I am on pace. Now, it is not essential to be on the correct pace. So you'll see here, I'm 1 behind pace. But you'll see here, if I keep making it through the level normally, what you can do is just shoot him however many times you need to get him to 24, and then just do the purify bomb thing. So it's okay to not be on pace, it just means you'll need to shoot him a little bit at the end to make up for it. But yeah, if you are going for that 24, you need to do at least 6 damage at the beginning. And then if you do 6 damage, you need to hit the next 10 shots. But if you do more than 6 damage at the beginning, you have a little bit more wiggle room for the following 2 damage phases. So yeah, right at the bat, you want to start slashing immediately. And if you pick up this first elevate card, as you do your 5th slash, you can shoot immediately. It's kind of like a weird thing where if you time it wrong, your bullets won't come out for a while. But if you time it like pretty much the frame you slash, it works. So it's like there I can shoot comfortably after, but if I like waited a little bit, the bullets take a little while to come out. I don't even know if you noticed that or not. But basically, yeah, you count to 5 and then you start spam clicking him, and then you jump as you pick up the second elevate. like that. And that'll land you comfortably on here. You shoot these 2 crystals and you start shooting him as he makes it across, and he'll go to, you know, just above this part. And then as soon as you've shot enough bullets at him, you start slashing. This crystal should spawn on your right, and then you just turn and slash that crystal as well to get your total slashes up. And you elevate into this elevate to get more damage in. So it should look something like this, where you're just slashing during the downtime, slash these 2 crystals here, elevate into this elevate, and finish off the damage. And this is one behind, like I said, but again, that's okay. Now you just saw it there, but during this next phase, you want to be slashing until you pick up these cards, and you need to shoot these crystals pretty fast. This is where most of the time save of this level comes, is this section of shooting the crystals. Oh my god, I didn't even know he did this. But yeah, you pretty much jump and shoot at the same time, and while you're on your way to the peak of your jump, you'll be at a height where you can shoot this crystal over the ledge, and then you just finish shooting them, and then you turn and shoot him until he brings his shield up at 54 HP ideally. And then right after that, you can squeeze 2 slashes out before this guy spawns. And then you shoot him, you elevate, you kill that guy in the crystal, you pick up this elevate, and then you just elevate from here up to here. And while all these crystals are spawning, you're slashing, and you should be on around 2 slashes at this point. Then you shoot both the crystals, double purify slash off him to get him down to 24 HP. Okay, Loki, who is currently editing the video here to show on another level so that Green isn't yapping in my ear the whole time and trying to shoot me. Once you get to the fist card, if you hold the punch button, you see you punch pretty slowly. So you can actually speed it up a lot by just spam clicking as fast as you can. The comparison is pretty substantial. I'd say it's like the equivalent of, like, you know, holding a Godspeed compared to, you know, shooting a Godspeed, something like that. So when you're in the section where you're flying across the air, you want to be... Oh, there's the clock. I didn't even know that was over there. That's kind of cool. Yeah, when the section where you're flying up to that section there, you want to be spamming the left click button. And then you want to click 8 times with your fist to get it to 2 remaining on your fist. Then you just shoot all the crystals, and then you punch him like that, pick up the stomp down, and then, oops, click a little later than that once he starts his death animation. So there is a little reward for the people who do enough damage to get him to 24 by the end of the level, that I saved for kind of like the end of the video, so it didn't really overwhelm anyone or make anyone feel too pressured to get there. But if you do enough damage to where he is on 24 HP by this point, what you can do is do these crystals as normal. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if you jump, you can shoot this crystal and then put your bomb on this crystal and then punch the bomb and the crystal at the same time, and that way he just dies like that way faster. So that'll save, like, if you're like at a 34-35 second range, that will probably be enough to get you over the Amethyst line. Now, one more thing I want to emphasize about this ending is you do need to be at the peak of your jump when you do this crystal punch thing, because that way the Purify boost will launch you into this ledge here, which will keep you low enough. Whereas if you do it too low, you'll miss the ledge and just go flying above the stomp card. So at the peak of the jump you do it, so you hit your head and can just fly into the stomp card comfortably. So it should look something like this in practice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you can just wait for him, and there you go. And you see that's quite comfortably over Amethyst, like over a second. Now, the last final tip of saving time, I don't really recommend this one, but you know how I like to give options of like harder stuff that saves a lot of time. I think this is a comfortable spot where it's not that difficult and does save a substantial amount, and this could be enough to bring you over to Amethyst, or even to Sapphire, to be honest. This is getting pretty close to the Sapphire route if you do this ending. But there's actually a Purify card right here that you can't pick up through the wall unless you have something that gives you extended pickup range. So there I use my Purify Bump, which gives you extended pickup range. And what also gives you extended pickup range is landing from a stomp. So what you can do here is do the end as normal, but instead you can stomp down here and walk into the wall behind you to pick up the Purify Bomb and just throw it, and right after you throw it, die, because that will give you a little bit more time save, since the Purify Bomb travels in the air still after you die. So that's how you maximize your death abuse, is by throwing the bomb while he's still falling and have the bomb go off pretty much as soon as he lands, ideally. And you'll see there, with the exact same route, with just changing up the ending, I went from getting like mid 33s to mid 31. So there's 2 seconds of time saves with those 2 variations to the ending, that you can incorporate one, and then if you're comfortable with one, then the other. You can try and incorporate both, or you can incorporate neither at all, and you will still be able to get Amethyst with it. But yeah, if you're able to do this ending that saves a few seconds, it gives you way more breathing room in the rest of the level. So this level is pretty much just practice the beginning until you can meet these damage thresholds, because these are by far the strictest part of the level. There's time save in the rest of it starting from here, but it's not as like necessary to do everything as perfectly. Like there you can see I missed a crystal. But even then, if I just play through the rest of the level, I'll still be able to make Amethyst pretty comfortably, even with a mistake like that. Whereas a mistake in the beginning kind of like exponentially slows you down. So you'll see here, I do this, wait for the stomp, bam. You see that's still Amethyst by over a second, even while, you know, messing up the middle section a little bit. So yeah, I'd say it's definitely really important to kind of get this beginning down. That way you can kind of get away with doing the faster ending strats. I want to try and show you a really like average run where I do the fast ending. So get him to the damage thing. And if, let's say I really mess up these crystals and I have to do something like this, and you know, I do everything else like, you know, okay enough, like this, bam, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And if I do this fast ending, if I didn't mess up the ending, that still would have been Amethyst. I accidentally had to, I did it a little too early, so I had to do the inputs again. But that would have been like a 33.7, even with heavily messing up the middle if you decide to go for this fast ending. So yeah, I would say, like usual, start with the run that I showed at the beginning. And if you're losing time, maybe you can try and pick up the damage to do the faster, like, you know, look up and punch the crystal above you ending. And you know, if that's still not enough, then you can do the one where you pick up the Purify through the wall. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for Clocktower. It's really hard, just practice it a lot, and this level becomes really, really, really fun once you're kind of familiar with it. So yeah, best of luck. We're moving on to Chapter 5 tomorrow. Chapter 5 has some pretty solid levels, so looking forward to it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, please. Please, please, please. Bye-bye.